dysphagia is, I think it's sort of like when your body mixes up sensory experiences.
As in, like, you're smelling things you should be tasting?
Or colors have sounds or some shit.
Color, okay, I think that's a bit of a stretch, but I get what you're saying.
Or
you get the concept.
Yeah, people can like hear because they're wired different.
Okay. And are you about to go into like, oh hey, when you shit, you taste your butthole or something like that? Where are we going with this?
I thought I'm not dysphagic, nor do I claim to be. However, I thought I experienced dysphagia because last winter was so cold. The bathroom was one of the 2 rooms in the house I kept warm. And I'd taken just a horrible morning dookie in there early that day and forgotten to ventilate it. And then walked into the room with a mouthful of ranch-flavored corn nuts. And I just seized. My body could not interpret what I was experiencing. Because at one point, it's like, you've got the fucking fecal smell just blasts your nostrils. And then you have a mouthful of delicious. I just sat there. I was like, what's happening to me? I didn't know what to do.
Okay. Yo, all that shiny shit, man, is crap, man. Yo, it's the big black kid that crushes your whole block. Dow Jones, milestone, genuine short shot. Street smart, sweetheart, you never want none. The beat starts, airing them out, run. I don't get down with bitches and the crooked shady bitches that wanna give you the stitches just to liquidate your riches.
I'm so glad that happened to you. You deserve every moment of your agony.
It was weirder than agony. It was absolute neural discombobulation. I just like, and what, you have a mouthful of yum and a nose full of yuck, and I just stalled out like an old computer.
Your body just fucking seized out on itself.
And plus it was like one of the 2 warm rooms in the house. Like, I could leave and taste the corn nuts, but then I'd still remember the dump. This is one of the many things that we have to deal with on Breakup Gaming Society, home to America's least responsible board gaming group.
That is true.
You are here with the Overseer and the Allfather. May you fight long and well.
Long and well, sir.
And later on, because the Allfather has, come to be a local homie and bless our mic, we are going to get into a little straight Jameson and a Jameson cocktail just to see how they stack up. We're going to play... I talked this poor bastard into playing Space Hulk Death Angel with me. By the way, we have several videos of me playing it solo drunk and losing.
Oh, yeah.
But,
excellent.
but the game scales really nicely. It's set up so that if you have 2 players, you have more Marines, but more shit spawns and it gets really ugly really fast. You either get on top of it or it gets on top of you. But that's the show. Allfather, welcome to the team.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, right here we are, with the house gradually cooling down in the Southern Command Post, a.k.a. Nurgle's Cauldron, a.k.a. the Fortress Monastery.
A.k.a. the cesspool of... It's just a cesspool.
Drink of the week. Drink of the week. So this week it's Jameson. Why? Because for the second time in 2 weeks, I probably mentioned this during the intro, one of the locals, who I would call a homie, has come to our microphone. The Baghdaddy,
Sir. Sir, the term you're looking for is the Allfather. Now, if you might be familiar with this if you were educated, but it refers to Odin. Odin, as in Norse mythology, and the Allfather. He carries, presence more or less, and I feel my voice permeates well enough that it fits.
Okay, the Allfather has recommended. I asked him earlier, "What's one of your favorite drinks?" He said, "JMO." I'm like, "Fucking A." So we did a shot of it.
Shot of Jameson down.
And of course, one thing, because I usually, when I do drink whiskey, it's usually a bourbon. Then 1 out of 6 times it's a rye. And of course, one thing I did like about that big, neat JMO we just threw back was it's not as sweet.
No,
but it's also not disgusting like Scotch.
No, it kind of does take a subtle note. Like, honestly, it doesn't, like, hit you too hard, but it doesn't come at you, like, too softly. Like, you know you drink it. Especially, like, if you drink too much and you end up throwing it up. Like, the back taste, like, is inherently the same.
So are you saying, like, so if you overdo it, it's solid enough so even on the rebound, it tastes good?
It doesn't taste terrible, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those that it just fucking... Through and through, it is my house whiskey. It is what I would say is the one that's just like one of those that I keep around with.
Your go-to, your staple. And when you said you were coming, this is the summer I started fucking around with mixed drinks just because.
Yeah.
Because I needed to remember more steps on the path between, hey, this tastes good, and what the fuck happened here last night? So
fair enough.
So I've been kind of just mixing up a drink, and I found on the Jameson website, just for fun, a version of the press. You may have had a bourbon press before, or a bourbon Presbyterian.
Right.
Presbyterian. It's usually a bourbon, some kind of form of ginger ale or 7-Up. Sometimes a splash of soda, depending on your taste. And
a lot of people, it's just kind of takes that citrusy to it. But yeah, you are correct that that's kind of how it runs. And you were telling me that you found on the website a Jameson press, yeah? This is just simply, what is it, Jameson? You just threw in some ginger ale and, like, squeezing lime, right? All set on the rocks.
The simple.
To the point.
I haven't had it yet. Allfather, may you fight long and well.
Aye.
Yeah, that tastes like a press. That's a good summer drink right there.
Yeah, sits down nicely. Whiskey doesn't overbear you, but you can drink it, and you can feel it, like, immediately start warming up your cheeks as it goes down, hits your belly.
I like it. I think you're supposed to do it 1 part JMO to 2 parts ginger ale. I didn't measure the ginger ale very carefully. I just eyeballed that part. And then
yeah. And that's fine, because, you know, you just take we like to drink a little heavy anyway, so that's what we do here at Breakup Gaming Society. So there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as a matter of fact, if this got a little low, I might just spike it with another, like, quick hit from the bottle and like it just as much, because I don't like my liquor. I found I enjoy mixed drinks, but I don't like the liquor to be disguised from me. I don't want...
No, you still want to taste, like, the actual notes of whatever alcohol you are consuming. That's actually appropriate. I enjoy that. Have you... And I've personally, being a bit of a neophyte to the show and having listened to them the way I have, I noticed you haven't had many on much in the regard of, like, craft beers or anything like that. It's generally, like, heavier liquor. Is that correct?
And that's because me and my cast are fucking hardcore alcoholics and drug abusers.
There you go. There ain't nothing wrong with that, and that's what we're working with.
And when we're packing in and out of a place, when you've got the recording equipment, the bottles, the cups, the games, the thing, you know, stuff all over the place, which gets really hard to pack out when you're drunk. I just wanted to keep that part. So I don't want to bring 6 ingredients in here. I want something to pour in a glass, start getting fucked up on, start talking about. But got a kitchen now, so I'm mixing drinks.
We got a kitchen down here in southern Colorado. We're mixing the drinks up a little bit, and I'm thinking I want to bring over a craft beer one of these days. Going to bring over something a little bit heavy with a good ABV that we could have some talks about. Like, you ever had a beer that tastes like chocolate milk and fucks you up like this whiskey would?
Yes.
Excellent.
It was a Boulder, the Boulder Brewery Chocolate Nitro that they were pouring in Portland, and I drank them all afternoon.
Yeah, that sounds appropriate. Those nitro beers will really hit you.
And
that is
and
a very
played
good
pinball.
blend.
I don't know what's better on a summer day than just drinking 5 chocolate stouts and just playing pinball all day. When I woke up the next day, my wrist actually hurt.
You just, like, tried to hit that high score, so where it's like, oh, I developed carpal tunnel.
One day of pinball. And now, the pinball bender on chocolate stout. But just because we have not brought beers, anytime you want, just say, hey, I want this for drink of the week. We'll drink it and talk about it. Doesn't have to be hooch.
There we go.
All right, man, we'll be back momentarily with the Allfather, and I am Lord Corporal Cretan.
We're gonna leave it at the overseer. He is the overseer. He sees all of what Breakup Gaming Society does, and he carries himself. He carries himself. We'll start there.
Game of the week. Yeah, you got me.
That was
Wait, I thought they called you Gilligan's Odin?
Gilligan's Odin. God, now you're just being annoying. Fuck off.
So here we are, Game of the Week.
Game of the Week.
Here with the Allfather and the Overseer. And so tonight, this is the first time, again, I've had the Allfather over to play. And I kind of said, hey, would you like to try a nearly impossible game?
Nearly impossible. Now, folks, we are talking a game with, it literally states in your rulebook, you're looking at what, a 33% win chance rate?
On a good day.
On a good day. All right? This is the game that dictates that, because that is what is based upon the dice rolling that you get. We are playing Space Hulk Death Angel.
The card game.
The card game, all right?
Based on the old... This actually used to be an old board game where you would actually move figurines around alien style, but they abstracted it. They abstracted it to a card game you could play cooperatively or solo, which I've done, and I've featured Death Angel before, but it's always been me, in which case I think you... the spawns are much lighter, and I think you command 2 squads of Marines.
Okay.
But the beautiful thing has been seeing what a natural tactical mind that the Goat Father has.
The Goat Father. Okay, that's wrong. All right. So I need you to get it correctly. It is the Allfather, because we are now... Many of you may not understand what we are speaking of, but we are now room 3, third room in, no Marines lost. Now, let me talk to, again, a common folk, because when you play games...
A.K.A. filthy casuals.
Filthy casuals, if you will. There are a few premises that we can all relate to. You don't want to lose any of your team, obviously. You don't want to die.
And to set the scene for those who might not have watched the other many times I've got drunk and recorded, you can actually go on YouTube and see my little Space Hulk Death Angel battle reports. I usually collapse by the second or third room. But what happens is basically imagine it's in some far-flung, disgusting universe where a very small squad of bulky armored and belligerent and committed people are trapped in a place with not a lot of maneuvering room and lots of enemies.
Lots of enemies. That's what we're facing. That's what we've held ourselves against this whole time. Strategically, me and the fucknut have held ourselves pretty well against every swarm
that doesn't even sound like Overseer.
Overseer, that's what it was. I'm sorry.
Or maybe it's a combination title. It's like, all hail, he is here, Overseer Fucknut.
The Overnut. The Overnut.
I can roll with that. But I will say this. It's been incredible fun because I love the story this game tells. And especially, and I think the most thrilling moment is when you have a Marine who is either outnumbered or has swarms of aliens on his 6 and can't do anything about it. The fucking defense rolls have been amazing.
We have been quite on point for being where we're at right now. Yes, we have held ourselves too phenomenally. Like, this game is going... We are running one of those trial runs as well, where it's just like, okay, let's play it a little more casually. Let's make sure we get the rules in. And we've held our own, folks. We have held our own completely in the Death Angel world.
Because one of the things that makes the game interesting is that for each squad of Marines you have a limited amount of actions, and the game limits how much overt collaboration you can do with your partner. Like you say, you can't say, I want you to play X action and Y space, but you can say, hey, we're in trouble here. But the pleasure for me, my friend, has been seeing, to the degree which you understand the sort of the tension of it. And like when you roll that big attack or you roll that big defense and you're just running around the room and we're screaming like kids who just like won the state football championship.
And all we did was pop a 2 with a little skull on top of it, because that skull means we killed the infestation, okay? The swarm, whatever you want to call it, folks. It's been intense. It's been lively. Our Marines are killing.
So, and we'll be back later. Right now, we've marched into the third room with 0 losses, which is usually an indication that you will at least get to the final room, which has a win condition. But hey, Glix Fagor, right now is when you do a mini bumper, and we come back. So I'm going to call it. This has been one of the
One of.
There aren't that many games that run like this, my friend. I'm telling you. But right now we are still from our starting 8 Marines, 7 Marines strong. Going in, we lost our psychic Lexiconum Calistarius.
May he rest well.
He fought long and well, but now we are in the final room that has a control panel on it that, as we activate it, decreases the amount of available Genestealers. Allfather, I'm calling this now. We win this walking away. Think I'm wrong?
Overseer, I feel a win in our range.
Okay, we're going to come back just to make sure that we weren't disgustingly cocky, but I think we got this.
We're feeling good. We're feeling good about this.
Back in a sec with Final Cap for Game of the Week with Breakup Gaming Society. So for a second there, I was thinking maybe I was cocky.
But here we sit on the fields of victory.
Because not long... did you hear that? Not long after we announced that we attacked the final room at the cost of only Lexiconum Calistarius, Brother Omnio and Brother Valencio both went down.
Omnio and Valencio did fight well for us.
But as of 2 minutes ago, the very last Genestealer just went down under hail of autocannon fire from Brother Leon. By the way, which has been happening a lot today. Sorry, Genestealers.
Brother Leon has held his own. Thank you very much with that 3 attack phase. It works. It works, kids.
And all I want to say, Allfather, is that I hope this doesn't give you a distorted idea of this game, because what just happened to us is exceedingly rare. To walk into the last room almost at full strength and get the winning condition, almost like it's clay pigeon shooting.
We did hit some shit that is unexpected. Again, we are playing a game. Folks, I need you to understand when they say that the game has a win rate of about 30%. All right? That is legitimate. The odds of winning this game are very, very finite. So yes, we did hit some very quaint, some very just specific points with our strategy. We worked very well in tandem together.
Although there was one point which sometimes if you get what I call a super swarm of Genestealers, and that is a swarm that almost you cannot roll enough to defend against, sometimes it will cause a chain collapse with the whole column because it will kill the next guy. But you rolled.
Let us hold this true, because our super swarm. Against our super swarm, ladies and gentlemen, we rolled exactly not only what we needed, but just the perfect thing to stop that snowball effect that the Overseer has portrayed to us.
Yeah, there's one point in which a swarm of Genestealers of nearly impossible, outstanding size had converged upon Brother Omnio, and he rolled. Well, you had a support token which you burned for a reroll, and on that reroll, you rolled the one possible number to stay alive, and I think
literal 15% chance that we had to hold that snowball effect. Brother Omnio did, I say,
and that
did die. He did die eventually, but he held it. He held him.
No, he didn't.
Brother Omnio.
What? Yeah. He's still in the column.
That's Brother Dino. Brother Omnio is dead.
Oh, my bad. But it's some any high gothic bullshit. But anyway. There it is. That was a game of Space Hulk Death Angel, played with 2 characters, 2 players, which means 2 teams of 4 Space Marines, and we kind of stomped them out.
We kind of held our own. Yeah.
Good job, Allfather. We're going to be back in a minute with Track of the Week.
Track of the... Get this barbershop quartet bullshit out of here.
What the hell?
Is this supposed to be a damn Geritol boy band you got going on here?
Bullshit that is. Kind of stupid. Fucking
next.
Garbage.
Relax and take a seat. Sit back and play the beats and blast it in your Jeep. It's the track of the week. I'm ratchet in the streets. Talk trash to the geeks. Get smacked in the beak. It's the track of the week.
So, my friend, I think we've decided you're a little bit younger than I am.
Just a few years, yeah.
maybe a few decades. But in either case, you're asking me if I love Biggie. I said I've actually come to have a late appreciation of him.
Okay.
But you said you're gonna.
Have you ever heard the song "Suicidal Thoughts" by the Notorious B.I.G.?
I do not think I have.
Excellent.
I may have, but in either case, why don't you lay a few seconds on me and we'll see how we feel.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
When I die, fuck it, I wanna go to hell. Cause I'm a piece of shit, it ain't hard to fucking tell. It don't make sense going to heaven with the goody goodies dressed in white. I like black Timbs and black hoodies. Gotta probably have me on some real strict shit. No sleeping all day, no getting my dick licked. Hanging with the goody goodies, lounging in paradise. Fuck that shit, I wanna tote guns and shoot dice all my life.
So, I have to say,
What's up?
by the time the whole Biggie Tupac era started, I was already kind of over rap because I'd been.
Fair enough. That's a very excellent point. I'm glad you bring up because
It's
that is
an
one
age
of our-
thing.
That is one of our generational differences.
But I will
because-
say this and one thing I hate though is the old head who always comes on and says, "Ain't been shit since Biggie and Tupac." I'm like, that's not true.
That's not true.
And first of all, secondly, Biggie was 3 times the MC Tupac was. Tupac was gorgeous, big mouth, with a faster mouth than he had a brain. Biggie was a better MC.
I would agree with. I would agree with the sentiment. Biggie being a superior MC. However, with the dynamic that you faced with especially with the East Coast versus West Coast rap scenario of that time frame, you're looking at. I don't think.
But that was a fiction. Most people didn't fucking care about it, and I was.
It's not that they didn't care about it. It just didn't have the same limelight. I feel that we have nowadays with what you. Because okay, for example, if I say the name Kendrick Lamar, do you know who I'm speaking of?
Yeah,
Absolutely,
One
hands
of
down.
and as an old guy, I'll say I've listened to one of the best motherfuckers ever to
Yeah.
grab a mic. His stuff is genius.
Kendrick is a genius,
Now,
yes.
now it's
So-
it's not the stuff that hypnotized me when I was 19, and I recognize that. But here's the thing. Tupac again was a gorgeous actor with a big mouth, and again, way more mouth than he had brains.
And that I disagree with.
No, yeah.
Completely, no. Tupac was by no means, and I'm sorry to just, like the way I interpret your statement is that you're saying he was a bit ignorant. Is that correct?
He wasn't ignorant. He was just young, flush with fame, in the middle of a hot gangster war with real consequences, and didn't.
So was Biggie. Like they were both in the same like scenario in which they just handled it in different regards. Like and that you're talking because again, like we're both talking from an era of rap where you still had the competitiveness. And you know what I mean by that? Where it's just like, it
still.
had the-
I'm sorry, and this is what I try. Braggadocio is the spinal column of rap. It still does. No rapper ever gets on and says, "Hey, I'm pretty good," and you know what? That other guy's pretty good too. No, you're the best at something. And but get back to the track you picked. That break and those bars are beautiful. Tell me about another piece of the song you want to play for me.
Worse. Lying to my mother, even stealing out a purse. Crime after crime, from drugs to extortion. I know my mother wish she got a fucking abortion. She don't even love me like she did when I was younger. Sucking on her chest just to stop my fucking hunger. I wonder if I died, would tears come to her eyes? Forgive me for my disrespect, forgive me for my lies.
As I get older and explore some of the 90s stuff I'd ignored earlier, like for now, I'm a fan of Jay-Z stuff that I'd never heard before. But, however, I'll say this. Everyone thinks it's all Tupac and Biggie, but I will just say this. As a pure MC, Tupac was not as good as any member of Brand Nubian. Was not as good as Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Was not as good as Slick Rick. Was not as good as half the guys of Wu-Tang Clan.
that okay. I think.
Am I wrong? No, I'm talking as a pure MC. I know he was a superstar and he was beautiful.
I don't think you're wrong. I just don't think you're giving him as much credit as he is due for what he did as a musician in and of himself. That's the only thing
I'm just saying is if you spent more time with me listening to what I know about what was recorded during that era,
right.
Tupac would fucking bore you.
And I will give you the advantage of the fact that I was born into that era of rap.
What year?
What year was I born? 93. I'm almost 30 at this point. So like that was at the point where like.
So and here's the gulf that we're arguing across. My mom didn't go to Woodstock because she was pregnant with me.
That's what's up. Yeah.
I was born October 4th, 1969. And I will never say Tupac is shit. He was a decent rapper. Huge charisma. Beautiful kid. But I will say this. In terms of like true MCs of the early 90s, he's not even in the top 10.
Okay.
Not no way, no how.
So hear me out on this. So I would agree with the premise that the lyricism of Tupac is inferior to Biggie. Biggie is you can just listen to him spit, and it does supersede Tupac. However, what you're running into though, with that era of, especially like with that era and we're specifically talking the East Coast versus West Coast concept. The East Coast naturally carried more lyricism, okay? People from New York, you're talking Jay-Z, you're talking fucking Biggie. Those people.
Yeah,
had
the stereotypical divide was that the East Coast rappers were all about style and slick lyrics, and West Coast was all Jerry curl motherfuckers with Uzis spraying people down. But that's not.
That's a common misconception. You can't. What you're doing is putting them in a simple credence. What they are is where you have the East Coast.
No, but I'm talking about Tupac got his start with one of the greatest underground rap bands ever.
He did, yes.
Which was who?
And I don't deny that fact. Which was I'm drawing a blank on the name right now. We just talked about it. What was it again?
His name was Shock G, and Humpty. He just died.
And Humpty, yes, thank you. I know we had just
Digital Underground.
So with that,
that was Oakland scene.
Going on to the point where I want to make is that with the East Coast movement, you had more lyricism. You had writers that they took the time to add the rhythm to it, but what they lacked was beats. Okay, where that's don't come at me saying that the West Coast beats were inferior to East Coast, because West Coast superseded East Coast.
But at that time, well, first of all, and let's talk about this, and I'll just put my ego down, because for a while, and this is one of the times that actually, you know what turned me off Biggie, is when I heard an East Coast rapper copying G-Funk styles from the West Coast. Remember Big Papa? I love when you, and they had that. It's like that's fucking Dr. Dre, and so don't get me wrong, I fucking love West Coast. Not all West Coast that you know about. King T and DJ Pooh.
I know. Yeah, I got you.
DJ Quick.
That one goes over me.
I fucking love G-Funk, and also the scene that the underground scene that came up around Souls of Mischief.
Okay.
What's it? The 1992 album. Bizarre Ride to the Far Side. So, but anyway, I just realized that, like, I'm not telling. It's hard to tell you that you're wrong, because you're not. Because you know what? You just came up and you experienced it at a completely different era than I was. And I'm just telling you. But by the time the Biggie and Tupac era started, I was just kind of over it. Because you know why? I bought my first fucking like rap tapes in 86, 87 by LL Cool J, Public Enemy, and Run DMC.
Run DMC, baby! Yes!
And the Beastie Boys, and I never have heard since. And then I listened to nothing but hip-hop till 1992. Mm-hmm. And by 94, I was kind of burnt out on it. I'm not saying that like the stuff after that has no value. And I honestly think that Biggie's a better rapper than Tupac, but
I will agree with the sentiment. Yes, Biggie is a superior lyricist. The beats that you get from Tupac supersede anything Biggie made.
And
even the song we're currently listening to doesn't have much of a rhythm to it, and it wasn't until modern times that it was actually interpreted as like a very specific, like strong song when it was a modern beat put behind it.
And you know what it is? You and I are both looking at the same era in rap from completely different experiential.
Exactly, and that's the point of these discussions is that like inherently, yes, we may disagree with a few like tidbit points of it, but that's where we have to take it, and that's where we just one of those agree to disagree segments. I would like to say,
but I will say this: the Tupac. Now you got me thinking like you. The Biggie song you featured tonight is one I've not heard before.
Really? Okay.
I liked it. You asked me what my favorite Biggie song. It's 10 Crack Commandments. It's brilliant.
Classic.
I love it.
Structured very well, yes.
And but you played what? Suicidal Thoughts.
Suicidal Thoughts from the Notorious B.I.G.
And you know what? It's a good jam. I'm glad you played it for me. And that concludes this episode of Breakup Gaming Society. You are with what am I called?
We're dubbed now as the Overseer. Is our boy here. He is here with everyone. We all know who he is, that voice very well. And I'm your new guy, the Allfather, signing out right now.
All right, until then, may you fight long and well.
Long and well.